you're into sodas, right? Which one do you like? Sprite or whatchamacallit? What soda they have? Oh my god, I haven't drank soda for. I bought Coca Cola a couple of days ago, but I haven't drank like 2 liter bottle. Not it's for the family, right? Usually we used to buy a 2 liter bottle of Coca-Cola or some type of soda. But let's talk about these companies, right? Coca-Cola brand, or well, I just look at because basically this topic came up. I wanted to create a video around this marketing type of deal. If you know whether you smoke cigarettes or whatever, that's up to you, right? But what this thing is, usually I was thinking about a lot of things right here because I'm talking about these companies are actually their target audience is actually more of a because I was listening a long time ago to Ty Lopez. He was talking about how company like Coca-Cola or something like a really big company they target kids. So kids when they grow up they become customer, right? They target it and they build a habit of drinking or buying products. And I was explaining to my mom about cigarettes. If people start smoking at the age of 20 or 30, they might not be addicted per se. Why would I say that? Well, during the depression that I had, I was easily influenced by my peers or my coworker back in the day when I was working at a Japanese restaurant. I never smoked cigarettes in my life. So let's talk about that. Let's bring you back. So Coca-Cola is one of my favorite, right? I'm talking about all these type of brands, Marlboro, whatever cigarettes, and then they have Newports. I've tried one of the Newports and Marlboro, whatever. I have tried them. There's a story behind why I tried them. But let's talk about this. Why do people get addicted to certain products, certain things, certain why they have affinity towards whether it's a toy, like this Yu-Gi-Oh cards, trading card game that I'm trying to get back into, and they're very expensive, right? It's because you start at a very young age. People who smoke cigarettes or marijuana or MJ, they start at a very young age, and it become a habit and it become addicted to them. Now, for instance, I remember back in the day I told my mom when I was a kid, maybe 4 or 5, I was like, I will drink soda for the rest of my life. I remember I got the taste of Coca Cola with a what was it, cherry Coca Cola or something, and it was good. And so we have a habit of drinking soda. So these that's how people get addicted to these things. They target, for instance, people say that these card game is not it's for teens, but it also like either Pokemon or Power Rangers, Super Sentai. Super Sentai they target young audience, but their target audience is boys. So young. That sounds wrong, but they're targeting it. So as they grow up, just like me, I grew up watching Power Ranger as a kid, so I become their customer later on. So I mean, my brother brought me back in the day where I had swords and freaking morphers and stuff like that. I was like, wow, I had those things. Holy crap! And I think I had a couple of pictures with like a picture of Power Rangers anyway. So let's talk about cigarettes. This is my take on it. I think cigarettes. I have smoked it before and it tastes disgusting. I don't even know why people put them in their mouth. Right now, you might get offended to this. Right, that's fine. You can click off. But if you really want to know what happened. So back in the day when I was a kid, I remember, you know, I didn't like the idea about cigarettes when I was a kid. When some kid tried to get me into smoking in my neighborhood, I would say no. I remember I don't even get why they even have the freaking dare in, back in elementary school. I had a cop came into the classroom in my fifth grade class talking about don't do drugs, right? With dare, and I think that's ineffective. And all those kids will grow up in different environment, different time. They will grow up to be different person of who they are because of who interact with them, who have affected their life, who have come and go off their life. So yeah, that's kind of hard because when you're growing up and going, your life will change a lot, and nobody see that. So it's ineffective. So I remember in the neighborhood there was this guy tried to get me into smoking weed, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna smoke weed. So now, when I was going to into uh, boarding school or trade school or what's it called? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Job Corps. I got scared. I got really scared. And I was like, oh my god, there's all these people smoking. And I wasn't used to it. And I got scared. I freaked out. And then I was in the room. One of I was so they I was a newbie or new whatever in that time for boarding school. So I go in. They transform me into another dorm. It's Washington A. They call it. And I was in the room and I couldn't sleep. The reason why I was doing drugs in literally in the room. And I got so scared. I was like, "What's going on?" Ah! And they were doing drugs and stuff like that. And I was so scared that I had to cover my head uh, uh, while sleeping. I could not sleep, and I wanted out of that room. Oh my god! So I was talking to I forgot his name, but I was talking to it. But I believe it was synchronicity or law of attraction or whatever the universe has, whatever. Anyway, one of the guy he came because we were in the lounge area, and he came in and said, "Oh, we have an extra room." I was like, "Oh, that's great," and he seemed like a cool guy. And so the adults I told I want to change rooms, so I did change rooms, and it turned out that they were pretty cool guys, and I was like, "Oh, right, I love that he said that." Like, cool. So fast forward, the reason why I was smoking cigarettes and drinking. I never actually touched cigarettes in my life. Well, okay, never mind. Don't fast forward yet. No, don't fast forward yet. Hold up. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Do not fast forward because I feel like I haven't told the story yet. I rem- I think some of my friends. So some of my friends smoke. Some do and some don't. I usually hang out in a crowd of people who play Yu-Gi-Oh cards like this. That's Osiris and that's Obelisk. That's the Egyptian god cards. Okay, so I have friends who smoke and friends who don't smoke, but I usually hang out with people who like anime or cartoon. I don't hang out with any other. But I feel uncomfortable actually there though. I feel like I was the only one Asian there. I was like, "Where's my people at? Where's my Asian people at?" Dang it! So I felt out of place because I need like familiarity because I'm so used to so used to because of my mom's Asian, my brother's Asian. I was like, okay, so so I need like to see Asian people, man. I need to, right? I was like, damn, man. But it's okay. My friends are cool. Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick. So usually I don't take medicine when I'm sick. I usually let my body take care of itself because I believe that taking medicine, well, if you need to take it, but usually um, the medicine for me won't help because if you keep taking medicine if you're sick, it it the either the bacteria or your body or whatever something get used to it and it'd be less effective over time. Anyway, and because I learned from the reason why I do this because back in Job Corps, I remember they give me I think it was a flu shot. So they gave me a flu shot in the what was it called? In the nursing something, and the flu shot got me sick, right? Really sick, and I hated it. So how did I get? I was like, whoa, why am I so sick? And after for a while, I was like, whoa, I stopped being sick all of a sudden. Like it's like as if I developed a thing where I don't get sick for like years on end. I usually, as a child, I get sick pretty easily. I got asthma, so I remember almost I couldn't breathe. So yeah, if I couldn't breathe, that means if I smoked cigarettes, that would be bad. If I have asthma, I remember as a child, I couldn't barely breathe, and I had to go to the hospital. I remember they called the ambulance. Oh my god, they had to cook. We had a machine where I had to wear the mask and hook up whatever. Anyway, so I remember everybody was selling cigarettes in Job Corps, and so I was like, okay, so since everybody doing it, so might as well try to see if I could try to sell cigarettes because it was in demand. I mean, it's always in demand, right? So if cigarettes are always in demand, usually people sell them like for either one or two. It's like two is for $1, one is for 50 cents and stuff like that. So I remember I was selling cigarettes, but that's yeah because it was in demand. So the funny thing is I don't even smoke cigarettes and yet I sell cigarettes. What's that? Oh man, that's crazy. So cigarettes, I don't even know why people smoke them, but they said I remember I asked a couple questions. Either they said it's to help them relax, or if they have like stressful, it helped them to relax or whatever. But anyway, fast forward, I was in the Japanese restaurants, but the funny thing is they were full with Korean people and Spanish people and uh, Indonesians that make like where's the Japanese people at? Uh, it was funny. Well, Japanese people, hi, and I will always get annoyed when all the people. It's called okay. If you have watched anime like Naruto or any other, you study some Japanese words, you would know what a sakura is, cherry blossom, right? And then they have cherry blossom named Sakura, right? And it's just whatever steakhouse, whatever, hibachi, right? And then they say Sakura. It would piss me off. Say Sakura. No, I told them it's Sakura. And then it's like, no, we just go by that way. Man, these Americans, they always steal your name. Ah, damn it, man. Say it right. Pronounce it right, man. I remember there was a kid come up to me. I still remember it. He was a white kid, and he no, it was in the class I had back in middle school, and I know his name. I still remember his name though. He was kind of annoying to me. Anyway, he come up to me and he's like, "Why do you say that?" I wish I had that freaking communication where I was like, "There's a reason why," and because I said Vietnam, right? Basically, that's how if you're Vietnamese, they have pronunciations and tones and whatever. And I said Vietnam, and he's like, no, it's Vietnam. No, it's because the Americans screw the pronunciations of, like, for example, my teachers, not unconsciously, would say Nguyen, the Gaian. And I remember there was this Vietnamese kid, right, back in high school. I would get pissed and we would argue, right? I was like, because I knew he would say it. He's like, so what? I would ask him, what's your name? What's your last name? He's like, Nguyen. No, I said, it was Nguyen. I was like, no. The only reason why, because you could ask any Vietnamese people who are who was born from Vietnam, you can hear their tonality. Not like it would kill, because basically the American would kill the words, like they would skew it and they'd be like bam, right? They were like, no, it's Nagayan, no, it's Nanujan. No, not after that, man. Just make it simple. You guys make it too simple. I mean, you make it too complex. Anyway, back in the working days, I was more influenced by the idea that if I was depressed, that if I would do these type of things, I would forget the pain that I had inside, because I had a lot of pain that I went through, and I didn't know that it was the first time I ever felt it was like that. I mean, have your heart broken is pretty painful. I think, like, like wow, I never knew that. Like, it's just like, how could this be? It's like, wow, you never thought it would happen the way that you expected. So, I have a concept because I grew up watching, because one my uncle, he gave us like a Chinese drama, but it has Vietnamese dub in it, and he was one of my favorite characters. And though I had a crush on the girl that he fell in love with, he went to her. It's complicated, but I could explain. But anyway, he when he get depressed, he drink to forget. Right? People try to drink so they can forget, but at that moment, it all come back. Right? I mean, human beings has the most complex, most powerful computer. You can remember anything, but it's locked away in your subconscious mind. I mean, here's the thing. This is what gets me pissed off sometimes when people say, "Oh, I remember this event happened," and then you say, "I don't remember that," because the person who had that memory, it means something to them. I remember my friend was driving me home, and he's like, "And you remember this event happened?" I say, "No, I don't remember." And he's like, "You have a bad memory." No, it's not that I have a bad memory. I have a good memory. Actually, we all have a good memory. It's just that that memory means something to you than it did to me. I mean, shoot, I could remember. I mean, usually your memory can, when you try to remember, sometimes your memory trying to, it can, your memory distort the way that you see it a little bit. It distorts because your memory shift, right? It can do that. So, I mean, I can tell you a bunch of stories that I can remember what happened, uh, that I did with my ex, because that your emotions are real and you can feel it and you can see it, and then it's in, emotion are really powerful, right? You can remember that more. Anyway, so that that show affected me, and it's like, you know what? I should try that. One day, if I ever get depressed, I should try to drink and forget my pain. So what ended up happening is, um, I was working there, and I was in pain, not physically, but internally, mentally. I was broken. I cursed at God. You know, I wanted, I didn't want this world to exist, even though it seemed bad. But like, stuff like that. And so I was bonding with, I was cool with all the coworker, and you know, I was cool with them, so it was okay. They were friends, and we joke around. Sometimes I say stupid stuff and have fun with them and joke with them, you know. And so one of my what started off is one of my coworker. He started influenced me talking about, oh here, try this, try smoking a cigarette. So I was like, no. He's like, here, and I was at the depression state. I was like, sure, why not? I tried it. I tried drinking beer, Henneken, whiskey. I the most powerful either I don't know if it's a liquor or a wine. Soju is powerful, man. Holy crap! Korean drink is powerful. It hit me, man. It's wow. I was like, oh god, my and like when I remember we were at a Korean barbecue, right? We were at a Korean barbecue, and like it was me and my coworker, the chef, the Japanese, not the Japanese chef, the chef, the Korean chef, and we were, and my coworker, and he's like, here. They say they play you this game, right? I was like, if you don't drink this, if you don't drink this, it means that it's disrespectful to our culture, like to them because it's how their culture is, the Korean culture. I mean, yeah. So I start taking one shot of it, and it hit me so fast, like boom, and I was like, oh my god, what's happening? And then my vision start like freaking, like like my whole body like freaking went out of whack. My vision went out of whack. Oh my god! Like like the world around me just freaking flipping. I mean, it warped, and I was like, "What's going on?" And my manager touched me, right, and I felt the vibration, and I was like, "Never again shall I drink this." And so what ended up happening? And I was like, "You know what? I'm taking my butt, going outside to run." So I ran outside and run so I can get all this alcohol out of my system. So, but the funny story with that is I still remember it. Is this? There was one girl in the restaurant. I mean, in the she was our coworker, and two of my coworker was playing around with her, and then we were so drunk. I mean, she was drunk. Two of my coworker or friend, they were drunk, and I was drunk, and I wanted to do something stupid. So what ended up happening is I pushed them, and then they got in trouble. So I pushed them. The water spilled over the floor, and and then they got in trouble because of me. I know it's bad, but it's funny. In my head, it's funny because they're drunk, and she was drunk, he was drunk, I was drunk, and I tried the water to spill. Anyway, so I tried that, but I'm not addicted. So that's the thing. And here's the thing. I was thinking a lot. It tastes bad. People. The thing is you inhale it in your lungs. So I tried inhaling my lungs, right? I tried it, and I was like, why would you do such a thing to your body like that? Even though there's many other ways to, but still, when you put those things in, it tastes, in my opinion, it tastes disgusting. Like that's why I don't do it anymore. I have the ability to, if I could, I can, but I chose not to. Like I really chose not to. There's no point of doing that, in my opinion, because they're expensive and it costs lots of money to waste. I mean, you could have invest in knowledge or invest in things that can make you return on investment. Other than that, all right. So there's another story. I got mad at my ex back in the day when she. This is why you do not want to have bad friends or bad people who are influenced. It could, but the choices that they have made. I got, I still get pretty angry at her friends for doing that to her. Anyway, so back in the day, we were in culinary arts and we were in class, and um, She told me. She told me that she smoked cigarettes. Guys or yeah, it said that guys tend to stonewall, right? Stonewall is basically you become silent and you don't talk. So I stonewall her. Not. She tried. God dang it! I think the more I talk, the more I cough. Okay. Okay. The more stonewall. So I stonewall and I got pissed at her, and we were sitting alone and because we were going to the cafeteria and we were eating and she was sitting over there and I was sitting over here because I got pissed. Oh man, I don't know, man. The sickness, man. The sick. Anyway, so I just got pissed at because no, cigarettes are bad. Like it's a waste of money. You could have been wasting something other than that. And it's bad for your lungs. It's bad for your health. And people don't understand it can give you cancer. I mean, my grandma boyfriend, my grandmother boyfriend, he got lung cancer from smoking too much cigarettes. And people don't understand the cost that they put in their body. God dang it! ah, but uh, so yeah, what was it? So that's the story that I wanted to tell. That these things, the brands target kids, and as they grow older, they become continuous, infinity, uh, infinite customer, and they keep paying them until they pass away or die. Sounds sad, right? But anyway, that's I wanted to tell you guys. Just a topic that I wanted to get out. It's just like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But as I go into those things, they're expensive. If you want to play good decks, you gotta spend lots of money on it. God damn it. All right, I'll see you guys later. I gotta go. Killing me. Bye bye.